This is lesson 14.2, sets of real numbers. And now that we've already looked about or talked about numbers, sorting them like in a geography concept, and we went down through and we talked about the different types of numbers and how we kind of sorted them and how they're categorized. This is kind of the table form of that. What I would suggest is for you to get a piece of scrap paper and maybe make yourself a little box and write down these numbers or fill in this note sheet, whatever, to see how well you do, how well you are understanding how these numbers get sorted. The first thing is we have not talked about any complex numbers at all, nor will we. So in this real column, I'm just going to go down through here and mark all of these numbers as real numbers. And so, okay, so now negative 789. It's not how I count. That's like the next is the including of 0, but this is an integer. And since it's an integer, it's also rational. Because rational is kind of the end of that box. Pi. Oh, pi is irrational. It goes on forever and it doesn't repeat. And if you're not sure, I would suggest having that table, that sort system, like somewhere where you can see it to help you look through the sort. The square root of 0.36. Well, bust out the calculator. Clear. The square root of Barbara. 0.36 is 0.6. So I'm going to write that up above there. Well, 0.6, that's just a decimal. Decimals are rational numbers. So I'm going to click that box. Negative 2/3. 2/3 is a fraction. Negative. It's an irrational number. It's not a natural number because nobody counts like in fraction form. You know, you'd be like, no, that's not how we do that. It's not a whole number. It doesn't add the 0. Even though it's negative, it does have that fraction part, which makes it not an integer, makes it a rational number. 0. Well, we said we don't count starting with 0, but it is a whole number, which makes it an integer and also makes it rational just because it's in that center layer or in that inside there. Whole number are integers and rational. Like I said, this is a really helpful little chart to have near you when you're sorting these out. Okay, now I've got this crazy number and it says that it doesn't repeat. Well, it's a decimal that doesn't repeat. That makes it irrational. Negative 5 over negative 5. Well, if I do that math problem, I'm going to get 1. And 1 is a natural number. It's a whole, an integer, and rational. So I had to do the math problem first. I had to simplify in order to see what's going on. 2 1/9. Ooh, he's rational. He's got a fraction with him. 1.48. Oh, the 48 repeats, so I know it's not going to be irrational. That makes him rational. And the square root of 4. Well, when I do that math problem, I get 2. And a 2 is a number like we count, which means it's whole, integer, and rational.